answer was simple. I wanted to hear more about his faith. After a few minutes of small talk, I said, "Tell me about your experience with church." Sam's body language suddenly changed. He sat up straight, took a deep breath, and started telling me how he grew up in a vibrant church community where people passionately worshiped God. He talked about the pastor's ability to make the Bible relevant and how much the student ministry had positively impacted him during his teenage years. After Sam graduated high school, his most significant relationships still revolved around this community, and he devoted a great deal of time to serving as a volunteer. Every word communicated how much Sam loved this church. But all that changed the day his dad abruptly packed up Sam's younger siblings and his mother and announced they were moving, both from the area and away from the church. Sam didn't understand. For as long as he could remember, his family had been the model of perfection, like the one you'd see on the front of a church directory. But their departure was cloaked in mystery and confusion. A few weeks later, all uncertainty was cleared away when a series of selfish and damaging decisions his father had made came to light. And as more information rose to the surface and pressures increased, Sam's father grew defensive, eventually abandoning his family. That was just the beginning of Sam's head-spinning season. Within 6 months, he'd lost not only his intact family and childhood home, but his job. This ushered in a season of severe depression and thoughts of self-harm, causing him to drift away from his friends and church. But Sam's absence seemed to go unnoticed, as no one from the church reached out for months. Finally, a staff pastor suggested they meet for lunch. Sam told me, "The relief I felt was palpable. I was barely holding it together, and then someone reached out and showed they cared." Sam felt hope for the first time in a long while. He arrived at the restaurant early, not wanting to miss a moment of what he was sure would be a life-giving conversation. More than anything, he wanted to hear someone say everything would be okay, that God still had a plan, and that even though his earthly dad had failed him, his heavenly Father still loved him and never would. Sadly, those were not the words Sam heard. Before he could share everything happening to his family or what was going on in his heart, the pastor expressed how disappointed he was with him. He was frustrated that Sam had pulled back from serving, hadn't displayed more faith, didn't have a job, and had no plan for his life. As you might imagine, Sam was shocked. He told me, "I did my best to blink away tears. I just couldn't believe what I was hearing. After being berated by this pastor for things over which I had no control, I didn't know if I'd have the strength to make it through another day." Lunch ended along with the pastor's lecture, and as Sam left the restaurant, he also left the idea of church. He resigned from all his positions, and for the next decade he avoided anything that looked like church. In his mind, life was hard enough without being hurt from the place that was supposed to help him. Stories like Sam's are why this book exists. I'm not naive to think church could ever be a utopia where pain or conflict cease. The fact is, as long as churches are made up of people, they'll never be perfect. But I am concerned that the place that should be known for lifting burdens is too often known for adding to them. Is that your experience? Have you experienced pain in the one place you least expected it? If your answer is yes, then know I wrote this book for you. Before we begin this journey toward inner healing, let me share a few thoughts from my heart. I hope they'll provide a filter for what you hear and help you get the most out of what's ahead. First, please know I'm sorry for what happened to you. Although the details of your story are unique, in the same way my heart broke for Sam, it breaks for you. Second, I've done my best to compassionately bring you hope on a broad level, but there was simply no way I could include